Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video where today we return for round 2 of the F2 2022 career mode. Yes, we're here today with the Saudi Arabian GP feature race. If you missed out on qualifying in the sprint race that went live yesterday, I would highly recommend going back and checking out. We sort of came into the Saudi weekend, of course. Often has been a track I felt pretty comfortable at on previous F1 games, and safe to say as always, Formula 2 did deliver. Of course, plenty of action, plenty of carnage, but heading into round 4 then, or race 4 even I should say, of the year. It is still Bollocks leading the way there, 28 points to Felipe Drugovic's 26. We're up to P3 on 21 there, just a point ahead of Umu Awasa and 2 points ahead of our teammate Fred Vesti, and then also Liam Lawson in his Carlin. But yeah, getting into the feature race today, starting right up towards the front of the field. Drugovic is probably going to be our big rival in this one. Let's see what we can do. But first, a quick word from our sponsor. This channel is proudly sponsored by Bybit, the official crypto partner of Red Bull's Formula 1 team. I've been using their platform for my personal crypto savings over the last few months, and when they got in touch to support the channel, I was super excited. Currently, they're offering you guys a special new promo for the first 100 of you to deposit $10 or more onto the platform. You'll get another $10 free. Also, 5 lucky winners will get their initial deposit doubled up to $1,000. That means if you deposited $1,000 onto the platform using my codes below, you could be within a chance to get another $1,000 completely free. We've seen the landscape around crypto drastically change over the last couple of years, and I genuinely believe it holds an important place in our future. However, please be careful as always when trading, as you are liable to lose money. But if you're interested and you're 18 or older, click the link down below to get started and see why Red Bull and myself, as well as thousands of others, trust Bybit as their crypto.
And we're back for today's second sprint race. We've reversed the top 10 on the grid and the drivers are almost set. This is looking to be a thrilling conclusion to the end of day 1. Well then, after an exciting session yesterday, let's take a look at how the cars line up. A fantastic effort from Felipe Drugovic yesterday puts him on pole position, with Callum Williams alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Porcher, Sato, Logan Sargent, Doohan, Cordial, Hauger, Awasa, Jan Deruvala, Novalak, Bullock-Passy, Enzo Fittipaldi, Hughes, Caldwell, Vachor, Phipps and Marcus Armstrong. Lawson, Nissani, Vesti and Ralph Boschon completes the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
Right, well here we are then on the grid, ready for race 4 of the season. Round 2 feature race here from Saudi Arabia. Of course, the one-stop strategy here today. Mediums onto a set of the soft compound tyres. So yeah, hopefully we can have another good run at it this weekend there. Of course, had a pretty decent sprint race yesterday. Went from 8th to 2nd. But yeah, starting up in P3 here, we've got Felipe Drugovic and Callum Williams just in front of us. Two very fast drivers, but will they be fast enough to try and stop us? That is going to be the real question. But of course, also, we've got to still be a bit careful of these Mechachrome engines. They're still going bang or pop quite a lot. Well, 14 laps ahead of us today then in the Saudi feature race. And yeah, starting from P3, like I said, hopefully we can try and have another good run at it here. You know, we have got a good opportunity to try and take the lead of the Drivers' Championship. Jan Bollocks, after a horrendous weekend so far, of course, came in after a brilliant day last Sunday in Bahrain. Of course, took that feature race victory that immediately cemented him at the front of the championship. Just trying to build up a little bit of temperature into the rear tyres. Got to be a bit careful with these a bit more than on the F1 cars, but try and line ourselves up on the grid. Only green. I blipped the brake too much. But that'll have to do. Let's get into it though. Feature race Sunday here from Saudi. Drugovich on the pole in his MP Motorsport car. I'm sure he'll want to try and take the lead of the Drivers' World Championship here today as well, but can we try and get a good start? 5 red lights then on the grid, and it is a very short hold there, and lights out and away we go, and I have not got a start at all. Sato, Sargent, Jack Doohan all going to fly past me, Dennis Hauger as well. Plenty of cars that we overtook yesterday, as where's Hauger going down at someone there? He had Jan Daruvula up his inside, and that has been an awful start. We've basically found ourselves down where we started yesterday's sprint race. P8 then, off the launch as Amory Cordeal going to try and look up the inside there as well, and we've got to be a bit conservative, just trying to be careful as well still. Don't want to pick up any unnecessary damage off the start of this race there, but a nightmare start. Just didn't get enough throttle in, tried to then save it, and then got too much throttle, and then a load of wheel spin as well there. So Jan Daruvula has been able to pick up the places as well. They're straight into P7 of the race. Goes the Indian driver there, but Felipe Drugovich at the front of the field. Looks like he's already trying to build up a little bit of a gap over Callan Williams. Of course, something that Drugovich was known for doing in the Real Life 2022 campaign was just taking every opportunity that came his way there and just building up leads early on in Grand Prix. But we're now going to have to try and be on the offensive throughout a lot of the afternoon here as we try and stick close to Jan Daruvula and Dennis Hauger there. Both Kramer cars just in front of us. I think we've got, yeah, just Jack Doohan in front of them. So we're probably going to be battling a lot of names that we were able to pick off yesterday. Very close to that wall on lap 1 there. It's still always so difficult to work out how much front end grip you're going to find into each and every corner when the tyres aren't quite up to temperature then. But Felipe Drugovich already streaking away into an early lead here. Perhaps he saw what Iwasa was able to do yesterday and is just going to try and imitate it. Of course, Iwasa was able to get a couple of second advantage after Daruvula fell to the wayside and then never really looked back towards the end of the Grand Prix there. Drugovich leads at the end of lap 1 there, but a nightmare start for us sees us relegated down to P8 of the race. So I'll be going to be able to try and immediately try and go back on the offensive though, up the inside of Jan Daruvula down at turn 1. As Daruvula is going to swing that frame of car nice and wide on the exit of the corner there, really try and squeeze me. But we're going to have the inside in towards turn 3. Just brake a little bit early there, but we'll slam the door and we will re-inherit P7 then. Drugovich still, you can just see on the mini-map, building up quite a hefty advantage at the front of the field. There is DRS now enabled. But yeah, we're just trying to take a bit of time out of Dennis Hauger in front of us. As again, it seems like Dennis Hauger and Jack Doohan just locked onto each other this weekend. But, you know, last time around we pulled off a pretty cheeky double overtake. I think that was actually Doohan and Cordeal. But if we can do it again, then we'll certainly try. Oh, whoa! Dennis Hauger, big lock up there. I had to go to the inside through the final corner just to avoid him, and that's the second time this weekend Hauger's made a mistake like that and just allowed me through there. Lucky we didn't pick up any damage as he kind of tried to swing back to the apex. We couldn't really go anywhere else there, as we've now got Williams and I think Marina Sato battling it out through turn 1 there, and this is all just falling into place for Felipe Drugovich. He's currently leading the way by a good 2 or 3 seconds now at the front of the field, but it allows me to get a whole lot closer to this gaggle of cars there. 3 very bright blue cars, and then also Callan Williams as we head through the middle sector. Of course, Williams not racing in Abu Dhabi in just a couple of weeks' time now. A little bit gutted, to be honest, because he's had, I mean, an up and down campaign in real life F2 2022. There's too many 2s in this title, I'm sorry. I'm going to try and find a better way to intro these videos in the future. But yeah, I think both you and I Virtuosi cars and the Carlin and Logan Sargent there now all trying to attack Callan Williams, and Sato has made it through. Careful of that wall, Matt. Careful of those walls. Got to be really sensible around this circuit there. You can't often drive at 100% around this venue here, as you can just see everyone trying to get the DRS on each other. This is the crazy thing about Formula 2, as I don't know why the AI tend to lift out through there. Whoa! Completely bottomed out over the curb there. I felt the front wheels lift off the floor as we tried to put the power down off the corner, but that's going to leave us a bit of a sitting duck to Dennis Hauger, who's actually going to try and do the bump draft manoeuvre down in towards the final corner. It's going to keep me a bit closer within the range, as there goes Sato defending from Williams there. Sargent tries to get back up the inside of his rival as well, but none of them seem to be swapping places at the moment. Are we going to see Jack Doohan get a run out of the final corner? It looks like Williams is on the defensive again as we head back down towards the first corner. Jack Doohan just waiting patiently. Williams, and Sargent side by side through the first corners. Can we get up and under Jack Doohan? No, we can't quite. We're still, though, going to be applying pressure as we head down in towards the next corner. Doohan very, very aggressively defends. No, he wasn't defending. He was trying to go on the offensive. I don't even think he knew I was there because he was trying to line up a move on Logan Sargent. We're only on lap 5 of 14 here, but there's plenty going on already in this feature race. Can we try and get a run out of the S's here? It's often been a corner where we can try and put the power down quite nicely. It looks like this time around we got a tiny run on Jack Doohan, but not enough. Big jink to the inside there. No, Hauger. Hauger, ever the opportunist, going to have a look up the inside off the corner. And I really expect him to do a lot better in real life F2 than he managed last season. But Dennis Hauger, a cheeky little move back into P6 then of this race there, as I was trying to focus on the cars in front. Hauger just playing the patience game there, as we're going to be able to get a run off the next corner though. Are we going to be able to muscle our way back to the inside there? He just about gives me the room. But both going to have the DRS there, wheel banging at 175 miles an hour. But we get around the outside of Hauger once more, and we keep battling with this young Norwegian here. But are we now going to be able to get a run on the cars in front once more? This is just non-stop action. Early on in Saudi Arabia there, looks like Sato has been able to get himself a bit of breathing room as well, as Williams still probably under pressure from Sargent, Jack Doohan and myself. There is late on the brakes through the final corner. Are we going to be able to get a run at the final turn on Jack Doohan there? Of course, we've also got the DRS Drogovic just going faster and faster at the front of the field there. He is the Brazilian. He's in a league of his own early on in this event, but a little bit of front blocking round the outside of Jack Doohan though. We'll just stick the car awkwardly on the apex through turn 2, and we will slam the door on the exit, and finally up into P5 then. But there is still so much going on. Oh, Sargent again trying to look for a move on Callum Williams. Can we just play this strategically? Not with that amount of understeer through the final corner. I was going to try and get a big slingshot on the pair of them, but it's not worked out for me. As Sargent, though, probably going to be able to have a look for a move back down towards turn 1 there. Williams aware of him. He's going to sit defensive in towards the first corner here. Of course, both these drivers still in just their second F2 weekend. They're wheel banging as they head through the first turn there, and we can't quite get underneath. We'll try and get to the outside of Sargent there. He'll become the inside for the next corner here. We are going to hopefully capitalise. Oh, a bit of more wheel banging between us there, as I feel like I might just have squeezed Sargent a bit more than I probably should have there. I always forget the wall when it comes out slightly in towards that corner. But up into P4 then of this race. But Sato and Felipe Drogovic at the front of the field have got an almighty lead, as we're not even a half distance yet of this F2 feature race. But can we try and now make a move work on Callum Williams? He seems to have been the cork in the bottle for a lot of the early stages of this afternoon there, as we try and put power down off the corner. We're going to try and get a good slingshot at the next couple of turns. Slow in, fast out. It's going to have to be the key there. Plenty of curb as we try to get the run on the young Australian, if I remember correctly. He's either Australian or Kiwi. I'm pretty certain he's an Aussie. As are we going to be able to get the run then on Williams to the inside, and often the AI lift out of it. Williams does not, and he's going to squeeze me, pinch me to the apex there. Are we going to be able to get a run off the corner because of it? We've just compromised each other's lines horrendously. Sargent is probably the one with a big run here, as to the inside of Williams will go, and up into P3 then of the race. Going to have to sit pretty close to the wall. The track widens up 3 wide in towards the final corner there, as Williams might lose 2 in 1. Sargent trying to get a run on him, and look at this, there's just Formula 2 cars everywhere as we head back down towards turn 1 here. Williams now is going to be on the offensive this time around. The roles are reversed almost immediately. We might just have enough top end speed there, as Team Want Me In at the end of this lap will sit on the apex through turn 1 and turn 2. And we do hang on once more there. Now we've been able to break free slightly from those cars, but Felipe Drogovic 7 seconds clear up the road. We're heading out of the final corner, and Drogovic stays out another lap. So does Marina Sato, but we are going to box then in this Grand Prix. Oh, what? Hey, we haven't even made it to the pit line. It's not somewhere different in Formula 2, is it? It can't be. We've just been given a 5-second penalty. I got no idea what we could have done there differently. 4.2 seconds stop. Come on, let me go. Luckily, we haven't lost out any places in the pit lane, but a 5-second penalty. That has completely screwed us late on in the day here. There's Williams still just behind me. What more could I have done there? Like, seriously, I'm genuinely lost as to what we did wrong there on the way into the pit lane. Like I said, I don't think... They haven't moved the pit lane entry line, have they, in Formula 2? I don't think they have, but now we've really got our work cut out. I was hoping we could try and close up to Sato by the end of this one, but now, really the question is going to be, can we build up the gap over Williams? He still seems to be a bit of a cork in the bottle for all those cars behind, but we're going to have to be about, well, upwards of a second a lap faster between now and the end. And every other car then into the pit lane at the end of this lap, including our teammate Fred Vesti there, currently with P12, but we should come out still in P3 behind Sato. Just got to hope that a couple of other cars have maybe been held up there, but we're not pulling away from Williams. He's been able to break free from Logan Sargent behind. So where are we going to come out? There is Sato in this race. We might be a whole lot closer actually to Sato. Yes, we are. We've actually taken a lot of time out of him. He's lost a good 2 seconds through the pit stop window, so yeah, not too sure what's gone on with him. Dragovic seems to have been held up as well, so I wonder if a lot of these cars have tripped over each other through the pit lane, but now we can apply pressure to Sato, but really, I just want to try and break free of him. We'll need to try and get the DRS and lose as little time as possible battling the young Japanese driver, or not so young Japanese driver if I recall correctly. Gaining on Sato through the first DRS zone. You don't really want to go for the move there. You want to try and get the run off this corner, and that's exactly what I've done. No messing about now. We've got to try and make moves happen here as we've built up a 2-second lead now over Callan Williams behind there, but to the outside of Sato down in towards the final corner. And we are now a man on a mission here out of the final turn. Oh, a little bit of wheel spin as we try and put the power down, but purple sector 1, purple sector 2. Will Sato be able to come back at me off the corner? Not quite able to. 41.5. That is mega on the medium tyres, on the soft compound tyres, sorry. Obviously, we've been a bit lucky to get the slipstream in the DRS where we need it and no dirty air where we didn't. But 2.5 seconds now, the gap to Callan Williams behind. But I mean, we've already built up 4 seconds over Sargent and Helga now battling. So we should, at the very worst, get P4 in this Grand Prix. But still, really, really confused and a bit gutted by that. Sato's still all over the back of me here. I've got no idea what's going on, but we are lacking some real pace against these front runners here. As here goes Sato to the inside, back towards Stomon. We're losing time to Felipe Dragovic here. Very, very late on the brakes there, trying to give Sato the room, but this is not what we need. This is not going to do us any favours in the second half of this GP here. 3 more laps to go. The gap to Sargent still only hovering at 4.5 seconds. We really need to get the bit between our teeth and keep pushing on. Right, well, 2 more laps to go then. This is going to be very, very close, I think, between myself and Williams here. Just finding a bit more in the car once more, just making sure that Sato can't apply the pressure. Is still just breaking a little bit too late in towards turn 1 there, just snagging the brakes, and it's just compromising us pace and performance here, and it's not doing us any favours. We're ahead of Sargent. We've got the range now on the young American there, and of course the huge gaggle of cars that he's still battling it out with. But we've just still, effectively we're doing qualifying laps to the checkered flag here, because we don't know who we're racing, and that's just how hard I'm pushing. They're a little bit cheeky with the track limits, but luckily, yeah, no real advantage gained. 1.5 more laps to go. Can we build up the gap over Williams and still get a podium? Starting the final lap then of this feature race, and it has certainly been an interesting one up to now. Amory Cordial out with just 1 lap to go there. That must be very, very heartbreaking for him, but I don't think he was inside the points here. But we just need 1 more flying lap around this venue there. Finally actually connect with the apex through turn 1 there. Maybe just a bit too much actually. Didn't quite give ourselves the run off the corner, but we are not pulling out enough over Callan Williams here, and it might just be a disappointing end to the feature race once more then. Not quite the complete bottle job that we managed last weekend. Of course, looped it, or almost looped it, on the final lap of the Grand Prix there, but just trying to get every last inch of grip out of these soft compound tyres on the final lap there. Gap to Williams up to 4 seconds, but another second in the second half of the lap round here is going to be near impossible to find, surely, unless Williams has some issues there. You can see how hard we're pushing, nudging the wall as we head out through the banking of turn 12 there, and the gap's just going up and down at the moment, but it's not going up enough in the right way. Attacking the curbs once more there as we try and launch the car out onto the back straight there. These are the little corners where you can really just gain into a couple of tenths, and it carries the momentum all the way down the straights there. But Felipe Drugovich, he's been in a league of his own pretty much throughout the entirety of this afternoon. A very Drugovich-style race victory there, as you can see, launching the car over the curbs through the middle sector as we try and just get every last little bit of grip we can out of him, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Callum Williams still 4.3 seconds behind as we head towards the final corner. Felipe Drugovich is back on top in Formula 2 there. He will take the lead of the Drivers' World Championship. We should still move up to P2 overall. I think, no, we'll still be P3, of course, because Sato will get us, but that is gutting.
All right, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
It wasn't always plain sailing today, but a very important win nonetheless. And I have to wonder, Davide Valsecchi, just what set them apart from the competition here.
This race, this win, was about one thing and one thing only: consistency. Anyone can be quick for just one lap, but there's a difference between that and being quick every lap, over and over and over. If you can do that, if you can gain ground when your opponents make mistakes, but then not make mistakes on your own, you can just push and push.
And look at that, they're making their way out onto the podium now. Great race from the MP Motorsport team, and I'm very happy to see them up there on the top step of the podium. After this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the Drivers' table. Felipe Drugovich takes over the lead in the Drivers' Championship after that excellent result. Now then, Davide Valsecchi, who would you say was your driver of the day?
I'll probably go for Cem Bulukbazi. The team did a good job with the strategy to put him in the pack, and he was good enough to take the opportunities.
And now a look at the team standings. MP Motorsport moved to the top of the table. It was also a strong race from Trident this weekend. Fantastic work from the Italian team to move themselves further up the table. That's it for today's race. From Davide and I, it's goodbye, and we'll see you when Formula 2 returns.
Well, there we are, and then the end of the feature race here from Saudi Arabia, and it is Felipe Drugovich who walks away with the victory there. 5.7 seconds clear of Marino Sato come the checkered flag. We were just 4 tenths away from Williams at the end there, so it was very, very close, but yeah, unfortunately, just didn't quite have enough. Still not sure why we got a penalty there. Please do let me know down in the comments below. But Sergeant Hauger, Cembolo Bassi, brilliant recovery by him, up into 7th place ahead of Duan, Novalak and Jayander Ruvla there. Umu Awasa, after yesterday's victory, unfortunate down in 11th place, and yeah, Fred Vesti, our teammate, down in P19. Amory Cordial, the only car that didn't make it to the checkered flag there. Means championship-wise, Drugovich immediately with a 17-point lead at the top of the table. We're still in P3 there, tied with Cembolo Bassi. Williams now up into 4th after a brilliant race weekend for him. Owumu Awasa still ahead of Sato. Fred Vesti down into P7 there. 3 cars now tied on 19 points. I mean, there's movement absolutely everywhere. In fact, no one is leaving this weekend where they started it. Clement Novalak gets his first points on the board, though. Means it's just Hughes, Armstrong, Nassani and Boschon still yet to score. And constructors-wise, though, MP Motorsport with that win now, I mean, they're ahead of us on countback overall. They're 53 points apiece between, Drugovich and ourselves. Charoux down to P3. They're still ahead of Carlin. Trident up into P5 ahead of Virtuosi. Dams tied now with Kramer in 7th. They're ahead of High Tech Campos and Van Amersfoort. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like, get yourself subscribed. We'll be back next weekend as Formula 2 heads to Imola. You guys do not want to miss that. But yeah, thank you all as always for the continued support, and we'll be back very, very soon with more F2 career mode. None of these videos would be possible without the help of our channel members, so a massive thank you to all of the names you see on your screens currently for helping support the channel. You can join them by clicking the join button down below, and yeah, thank you once again to everyone that continues all the insane support on my work.